Well, hey guys, welcome back to Waters Family Homestead. What the world you doing, turkey? Flew into the fence and bounced to the ground. Y'all see that? I hope you did. Lord, feeling froggy, I guess. The black hen, one of them, has still continued to fly over the gate back and forth from pen to pen or run to run. And it just sat up on top of the gate yesterday for a little while, that middle gate over there. And then it flew back over to the other side. And right after that, the gray hen with the brown on her decided she'd try to fly up there, but she flew up to the very top, to the 2x4 brace at the very top over there, and sat there for just 2 or 3 minutes and then flew back down. So my helper didn't show up, so I did not get the chicken's wings clipped, but I need to get them all clipped. All of them clipped, because right after they did that, one of the black sex lynx flew up to the top of the gate, and then it flew back down in its run. So I need to get the wings clipped to stop that mess and get them to stay in the pen. But I'm sure y'all can see the new fencing on the camera. It looks a lot better, easier to see than the chicken wire. But the other video I did, I showed y'all I got the 2 posts at the very back there done. And I talked about how taking a bucket of the tractor and level the ground so the gate would be level. But my only mistake doing it by myself, I forgot to pull this corner post up, this one here, and clean out the hole and then put the pole back in there and pack it real good. So basically it was just stood up in the hole and never got packed around. It's just been standing there long enough. Well, it keeps getting slack, so I added that 2x4 to support it. And I've packed around it a couple of times. And I'm hoping it'll hold where it is. But this post here doesn't shake at all. I got it a good 2 foot deep. I put a third of the dirt in and packed it, a third of the dirt in and packed it, and then the rest of the dirt in and packed it. And this one is solid as it can be. And I'm gonna hang the gate from this side. It's gonna close to that one, so there won't be any extra weight on that post. But instead of putting the regular 6-inch post in that I was planning, since my helper didn't show up, I had a 9-foot piece of telephone pole that I'd cut off one of these because I'm trying to get them cut to the right length before we stand them up for the water tower. And it's big. It's 11 inches around according to the tape measure. So I already had a hole dug here, and I went ahead and made the hole bigger and got it a full 2 foot deep. Now in my ground, 2 foot is plenty. So I got my brother-in-law over here and we got it moved and stood it up in there. It took both of us. That pole being that big around and solid as it is, I could pick it up, but I could get it to my chest. I couldn't go any further, so he helped me. We got it in the hole and I got it packed in real good. And then after I did that, I went, that doesn't look like it's on the property line. And the property line is actually about 2 foot further this way, so I'm giving up a couple of feet. I'm not redigging a hole and moving that monster of a pole. It was 9 foot long instead of 8, so it's sticking up a little higher than normal, but that's fine. It's big enough. I ain't got to worry about it ever going anywhere, not in my lifetime. So I went ahead and got the mower out and chopped up and mulched all the leaves that was up here, because I raked them the other day before I ran the fence. So all the other fence seems to be doing well. I've rolled out these poles that are going to be for their divider pins on the back of the chicken pen. And I did that after I cut, so I need to bring the mower back and cut this down, because there's a piece of privy growing up right there. I can't stand that stuff. But it's a battle I'll be fighting for the rest of my life, I guess, till they come out with some kind of poison that won't harm anything but privy, because I don't like to put just anything out. But I've about determined goats will chew on everything and kill every tree in its area, unless it's a huge tree. None of these are. So when I start trying to plant plants for next year, I'm going to take a bunch of cuttings off my fig tree here and try to get the roots to grow so I can plant more fig trees outside of the goat pen. And the apple trees, they're not ever going to produce. I guess I got the wrong type apple that won't grow in my heat. So, and y'all knew I went ahead and cut these 2 peach trees down that fell, and that one had broke. So this one's got a new growth on it that's straight up. I'm going to try to take some cuttings from it and see if I can get it to grow roots so I can plant it elsewhere. The ones that are in the chicken run are fine. They're not going to kill the tree. So I could always take cuttings from them if the goats, when I do get them, which will probably be 6 months to a year. This one had 1 shoot grow up, but it looked like it died. I don't know if it did or not, but I'm gonna give it a chance anyway. But this apple tree, the one that leaned way over, hit it with the mower a little while ago, as soft as our ground is right now, and it moved, and I'm like, well, you're coming down anyway. So there's a post laying everywhere. There's going to be a wood post for the goat fencing. So we're going to come off that corner to the big oak tree. We're going to come off the big oak tree down to this post somewhere over there. And then we're going to run down to the corner. Show y'all what I've done. I've already got an old part of a telephone pole that was cut. It's big enough, you know, it's probably 7 foot long or something. It's plenty big for a corner post. So it's going to be a corner post over there. I got to get all the weeds cut and, you know, so we can get in there and work. But that's not bad. It's not too thick. So I'm going to get that post put in as a corner post on the property line. And I've slid my old cattle panel here. I'm going to cut the feet off and make it a gate. Here's a corner post that's going to go in the ground at this end. And then I've got another piece of telephone pole that was cut, that's solid, that's going to be the other post for the opposite end of the gate. So that's 4 posts right now that need to be put in the ground. I need to dig the holes. And then I've already got that corner post in and that gate post in there. So once I get these 4 put in and clean up the line a little bit where we've got to dig and all that, you know, and then get the post in, I'll be ready to run the fencing. And what I've decided to do, let me show y'all. Told you how this ground slopes downhill. So if I put the gate on that corner post up there, which is what I plan to do, it would have had a big gap at the left side here. And I didn't want that because I don't want goats to be able to get under it. So I took my tractor and the bucket and just scraped the ground toward that post. And I lowered that top end there about 6 inches or so. And the gate will go pretty close to level now and not scrub when I open and close it. As you can see, I just scraped the ground with the bucket and made it to where it'll be level. So that part's done. But the fencing is going to come from the back corner here all the way up to this post for the gate. And it should stop there because the gate will be between it. But what I've decided to do is take, since I'm going to have some fencing left over, is go ahead and go from this corner post up to that post. I'm definitely going to run the goat wire on this side, just because this is where the dogs have beat the crap out of this fence and bent it up, and I don't want to take a chance. Since I've got the fence, why not go ahead and do that? So I've been thinking of this up here. This has always been a eyesore kind of deal with that big gate. What I've decided to do is go ahead and put a wood post here at the corner, right up against that T-post. Put me a wood post there, and then run the goat fence all the way across, and chicken wire, of course. Do away with that big 12-foot gate. I can take the metal off of it and use it somewhere else down the road, and go ahead and build me another 5-foot gate to get in with my mower. And that'll take that ugly triangle out that's hard to keep cut. And once I get this old freezer and this stuff moved, I'll have plenty of room to come through, so it won't be a big deal. The mower will fit anyway. But I'm doing all this. Why not go ahead and fix this while I'm fixing everything else? And whatever fence, if there's enough left to go to the next wood post, which would be that gate post up there, I'm going to keep going with that fence so that it'll all be, not all, but most of it will be goat fencing, so dogs and such won't be able to get through it. So that's the plan. I mean, I'm already running all that fence. Why not use that extra 100 or 120 feet or whatever I've got left when I'm done to finish securing the the chicken runs. The problem is it won't attach to these T-posts. Well, it will, but I can't nail it off to them. You know, I got to buy 4 bags of clips. So if it'll end up reaching to that post up yonder, I may end up taking that post out and digging deeper and all of that to make it, you know, stronger. But the corners aren't wood posts, and the corners need to be wood posts if I'm going to run that goat fencing. So that fence up there, this is all a lot tighter than like this piece that the dogs have beat the crap, and all this has been beat. So that's my plan. Gonna do it. Might as well go ahead and do it all, or as much as I can. There's a bee of some kind flying around my head. But the chickens seem to be doing well. I'm still not getting any eggs. But I did get some news today from a couple of guys at church. When I first got there, the assistant pastor, Matt, asked me about a rooster and 4 hens he's got that are basically being picked on by the other breed of chickens that he's got. And I told him I really didn't need another rooster, but I'd take the hens. Well, I'll take the rooster as well. I've got a 3rd pen that I could put it in. So I'll go ahead, and if he wants to give them to me, he said it'd probably be next week. Then when he gets them ready for me to come pick up or whatever, or tells me when, I'll go over there and get them and bring them back, and that'll give me some hens that are actually laying. So that's a plus, you know, and I offered to buy them, but he said he's giving them to me. So, you know, I appreciate that. He's a really good guy anyway. But then maybe 30 minutes later, because I get there pretty early most of the time, I was talking to my buddy that I had bought my original turkeys from, and he gave me the last 3, which only one of them's still alive, thanks to the dogs. But he's got a lot of chickens, and he's talking about changing jobs, and he will be gone 4 days at the time, and it's too much for his wife to take care of all the ones he's got. So he's wanting to cut his flock way back so she can take care of, you know, the ones they keep, and offer to give me the rest of his. And I have no idea how many that is. If it's 1 or 20, I don't have a clue. But if he wants to get rid of them, I'm going to take them too. And because his whole flock is young as well. So when it comes butcher time to butcher off all the extra roosters and such, then they're welcome to those, and, you know, help pay them back for the chickens they've given me. But we'll see whether that works out and if it all goes through. And Matt, since you have been watching and listening to my videos, I appreciate you, brother. But you're welcome to come help me pull some fence. Ooh, let me get off here, guys. I want to appreciate y'all for subscribing to the channel. My number's been flopping up and down again. It got up to 649, I think, the other day. And then the next day I looked, it was back down to 646 or 7. Now it's back to 648. I don't ever know what YouTube's going to do with my subscriptions, but it is what it is. So I appreciate that 3 inches of rain we got, because it sure softened up my ground a bunch. And y'all see the dirt I've got down there that I scraped from up here. I'm going to level that out, because that was a low spot, and there's some rocks and stuff in there from where I took it from elsewhere. And I'll level that out to make it much smoother and won't have to worry about hitting rocks. But I appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, hitting the like button, commenting. That's how a small channel survive and grow slowly, thank you to YouTube. So I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all remember what I always tell you. Jesus Christ loves you, and so do I. Y'all be safe. Be prepared. See the hole, one of the many holes they've dug to dirt bathe in. There's one there. One there. They had another one out in here somewhere. But yeah, hens are good at doing that. Y'all be good.